This video was recorded in front of a live virtual audience. Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Today we're going to be talking about Sophie Shohet's video. As I'm filming now, she made her video a week ago called Why I'm Shopping at Chanel Again, or Why I'm Buying from Chanel Again, or Why I'm Buying at Chanel Again. So it's a very interesting topic because it implies that, well, for whatever reason, because you had beef with a company or not, or just because the aesthetics weren't yours, you stopped purchasing from them. And then you're making a statement, buying again from a brand. We don't see many videos like these around. So it's kind of an interesting perspective and point of view. So we're going to analyze it, and I'm going to give you my thoughts about it, and we're going to talk about it together in the live chats. Before we get to it, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already but like my content, now is the time. Subscribe to my channel, and you can also push the join button next to the subscription button and become a member today. You can access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob all spelled together. Again, access to extra perks there as well. Thank you to all my patrons and members who have already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a virtual studio audience. Virtual studio audience, yeah. I was thinking, where's the studio? Everybody's in their homes, but that's how it works. And if you want to take part in my live streams, I live stream every Saturday. Just go to my community tab on my YouTube channel. Late Friday evening, I post a link so that you can get to see the your local streaming times for Saturdays, and you could set a reminder. So, oh, thank you so much for becoming Tier 1 member, Tyler. Thank you so much. So sweet of you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for subscribing, Pam. So Sophie says, as a subtitle, she says in her video, it's a bit of a weird reason why I'm buying again from Chanel. Because it says, why I'm shopping at Chanel again. It's a weird reason. Make of it what you will. And then it says ad. I think there's an ad in the video. But there was an ad in the video. But that's besides the point. It wasn't a Chanel ad. She's not collaborating with Chanel. It's some other brand that she advertised for in that video. But that's a whole other thing. So interesting that she basically states that she has had issues with Chanel in the near past where I remember another video she posted some time ago. By the way, I'm going to post a link to Sophie's video in the description box underneath my video so you can watch that video directly from Sophie and go check her channel out, which I think you already have by now. She's a big YouTuber and a very interesting lady. So I haven't met her personally ever, but just her way of talking, she has a very interesting way of communicating, and she's sweet. She seems sweet, at least. But anyway, so that's, again, another thing. I just want to stick to the point, which is her reasoning behind this shopping situation at Chanel. So she said some months ago, some of you might remember this other video that she made where she showcased some of the pieces that she bought from Chanel, which she thought was just terrible quality. That was from the spring-summer 2021 collection. She bought a little kind of wristlet, like a wrist wallet, or actually you put it here. It's kind of more of a fistlet. Oh my God, a fistlet, a fist wallet. That, no pun intended, but you wear it here, leather, you have a zipper here, so you could take stuff in it and out of it. I think she erroneously thought it was to be worn here. It was a bit loose. No, it's because it should be worn there. I don't know. Maybe she didn't, but it was a long time. I watched it as it came out, so I don't know if she put it on here or there. But anyway, there was that. The stitching was a bit off. Then there was that micro little kind of beauty pouch bag. I think hers was in some silver color. Also, stitching was off. And she just wasn't vibing very well with the staff from the boutique. Like, she couldn't get really appointments in Harrods, so she got them, I think, somewhere else in another part of town where there was another boutique, and she just was not having it. And she said she was going to send all the stuff back. I mean, with one of the bags with the little fistlet, I agree, the stitching was not good. It was not good. With that tiny little micro beauty pouch on a chain, listen, when you're working with such tiny leather and you got to put so many details onto it, it's not going to be, you can't, on the scale in which they produce, it's a big scale, you can't make it look like the perfect structure that you would have if the bag were this size. That's just because you're using smaller space to work with materials that are usually done in bigger sizes. And you could say it's a mistake of Chanel. They should have used thinner leather. They should have used smaller. Yeah, but I'm like, well, if they started using thinner leather for these pieces, then the pieces could break more easily. So you got to compromise somewhere. So for that pouch, I don't really agree that it was poorly constructed, but I do agree that the fistlet was poorly constructed. And then those issues that she hinted at, but never really touched base on. I was wondering what went down there with Harrods and why. I felt like there was something going on with Harrods and her, but I don't know. So anyway, fast forward to 1 week ago when she showed this other video, she said, and I realized, I started connecting the dots and I thought to myself, oh, so there must have been some beef with Harrods, because now she's stating all of a sudden, hey, it's all, wow, it's amazing. The reason why I'm buying at Chanel again. And then she showed what she bought, this kind of Tiffany blue square mini. And what is so interesting is she said the staff was so polite. They invited her to the showing or the presentation of the Métier d'Art 2021 collection. So this is the new collection now. So she was complaining about the quality of the Spring-Summer 2021. After Spring-Summer 21, we do get the Métier d'Art collection. And that one she said, first of all, they invited me. So she was very pleasantly, I guess, surprised about that. Then when she went there, she said they made her skip the queue. She didn't have to wait in line because there was a huge line of people waiting to come into the store. So she felt special, I guess. So that helped. And then when they, when she came in, they let her try on everything. Everything was great. And she also said she didn't buy. She spent like many hours there, which she also didn't do in the past because they were never so welcoming in the past. And then she said she spent so much time there, but she still didn't purchase anything then and there. But is so pleasantly surprised. And then, afterwards, she got the bag and maybe something else. But the fact that she's now back buying to Chanel, she said, is because, one, she kept pressing this point. The staff seems to have been rebriefed, that the staff in the boutique is much more accommodating and welcoming than it was just a couple of months prior when she tried to deal with them on the level of the Spring-Summer 2021 collection. And also she said that she likes much more the designs of that season. Now, this comes and goes. Every season you get different color palettes. So it happens to all of us. You might prefer one collection, one season to the other, the next season, just because the same bags, because she bought a square mini. They make square minis every season. They make rectangular minis every season. So either you're going to stick to your basic black, which they make all the time, or you wait for that special seasonal color, sometimes for years, because they might not be making the color you really want until they make it one day. And when they make it, you try to get one. So that's kind of like a strange reason to just say, oh, well, I'm buying them. I'm like, yeah, that's what we all do. I don't buy their stuff if I don't like the shape, color, cut, design of it, obviously. And the third reason, which is so funny, she said, oh, she does, with the hangers, the pant hangers, and then the sales assistant, which they never do at Chanel. So I was very, very surprised. The sales assistant just said, hey, I got something for you. Went into the back, stuffed the bag full with pant hangers, because she said, it's kind of rare to have pant hangers. Everybody always has the clothes hangers, but not the pant clip hangers. And she got these Chanel, with Chanel logos, like a bunch of them in a bag. And she said, this was so sweet of them. She lifted the bag and said, look, guys, I got so many of these hangers. Now, Sophie, let me tell you something. If Chanel didn't give you those hangers. A sales assistant at Chanel gave you those hangers. If a sales assistant at Chanel gives you those hangers, they do it because they're a fan of yours. They know your channel. They've been following you for some time. Maybe they don't want to say it. Maybe they even said it to you. Maybe you're not telling us this in the video. I don't know. But it's a no-go for them to, if you buy pants or a skirt and you ask for the hanger to go with it, yes, they do that. I do that every time I buy something from them. Sweater, I ask for a hanger. They pack the hanger with the sweater. of course, but they don't give me 20 hangers. I never asked for 20 hangers, so I don't know if they would, maybe, because I mean, I've been working with my sales associate for many, many, many years, so maybe she would trust me enough to do something like that. But even then, she would be very, very, very worried that the store manager would catch her while she kind of brings out a bag full of hanger. Like, it's a no-go for the brand to kind of give you something as if it was, don't get me wrong, it's special to you. I would be over the moon happy if I got a bag full of hangers too, don't get me wrong. But it's bad image for them to kind of treat any particle of their store and their brand as if it were trash. And by trash, I mean disposable, to a point where it diminishes the value of their image. And how does it diminish the value of their image? Because they're literally, by handing you over a bag full of these, and it is disposable stuff. They got a ton of those. They don't need them. Because they do have extra hangers that are made just for the boutique sales floor, which are more special and expensive. Those other hangers, they literally get there, they deliver their pants with them and their skirts on those hangers, which are flocked plastic hangers with a double C on them. They're not special. Every luxury brand has these. They're disposable. The clothes arrives with those. You should throw them away, and then you hang the stuff on the expensive hangers on the sales floor. But Chanel does not give those away. They're not allowed to give anything away unless it doesn't have a very specific reason to be given away. Like, you buy a sweater and you ask for the hanger, they say you can have that hanger for that sweater. But a bag full, when you didn't even buy anything, pant or skirt related, is, when you didn't buy 20 of them, that's a no-go. So I do believe that the sales associate in that instance was a fan of yours and said, oh yes, of course, bam. Now, this is a bit of a problem, because that sales associate might get in trouble, because if their colleagues know that that sales associate worked with you and they see that video and you're like, look at this bag full of stuff I got, she might get in trouble, or he might get in trouble. So this is my point in this video. I guess what I want to make is be careful, because a couple of months ago you kind of felt like you had some beef going on with Chanel. Now you're back. They called you back. All is good. All is great. You're happy. You're buying again. This could cause more friction now. I know it seems like so silly, because to us it's like, this is just so great. They gave me this beautiful thing, which is it's a beautiful gesture. It could be like trash to someone. To me, it would also be like gold. Like, whoa, I got the hangers from Chanel. Are you kidding me? Yes, I would never say no to that. But I don't know if you're maybe putting the sales associate in trouble by showing that. I hope you thought this through, and I hope there's not going to be any repercussions, but I don't know how clever it was to show that. I don't know how clever it was to, I'm just thinking about you and about, like, I don't want you to get again into that situation where you're like, okay, I'm not buying there again, because again, like they started, I don't know, for some reason they might like be like, and, but I gotta agree with you. I would definitely, if I was having some sort of feelings about a brand, and then, they call me back and I'm like, oh, that's a gesture. And then they're super nice and accommodating. And then I get that goodie bag of hangers. I would also be like, okay, hey, I'm back. I just don't know if I would show that on social media, because I would care for the sales associate. I wouldn't want them to get in trouble, and I wouldn't want to get in trouble either later on down the road. Now, you could also say, I don't care. I got other things that you love Dior. I know that, but I guess you prefer it maybe over Chanel even. I don't know. But you also mentioned something about it being available or less available. And there also I agree with you. Dior, their exclusive bags, they're not exclusive because, they got like 50 of them on their website. But, their iconic bags, the most iconic one being the Lady Dior. You go on their website and you scroll, you never stop scrolling. When I scroll through their Lady Dior section, I'm like, okay, scrolling. Like, how many of them do they have? Each and every one available for purchase. It just diminishes that desirability because, again, scrolling. You're like, at one point, you're like, oh, okay, they got 77 colorways, 53 different materials, the same bag, and for a lot of money. Looks like being in a supermarket. Chanel doesn't do that. They don't sell online. It's that experience of that analog meeting, not digitally, but meeting in person people and seeing those materials, touching them. It's a whole experience of trying on their clothes, and not being able to buy it online for me is a huge reason to continue buying at Chanel, because it just, they're not that massively produced. Because just let me tell you how it works with, if you have an e-commerce, it's always extra stock. So you got the stock for the boutiques, and then you got the stock for the big warehouse from which you ship out the pieces that you're producing for your online store. So that means that you open up your production to a major increase in production. And also that automatically also opens up another can of worms, which is sustainability goes down the drain, because when you have an e-commerce, you have a huge percentage of returns, and you got to deal with that. And every time a garment comes back to you, it loses in value and it's harder to resell later on. So you have to calculate that in your production manufacturing, which also means that your clothes are going to have to become more basic and simple, because you're going to have to, you can't just increase overnight your prices too much to counter the fact that you're now selling online as well. So, it's like a chaotic effect of, it's a chain reaction that would make, it diminishes the brand, definitely. So that's a good reason to buy Chanel, because, especially, I'm not talking about their bags, but I'm talking about their apparel. They still pay a lot of attention to their apparel. You could say that from time to time they have more or less acrylics in the mix, but Coco also during her lifetime used a lot, especially in the 60s. She loved to play with synthetics. So she saw it as the future. She didn't see it as diminishing the value of clothing. And a lot of people say, oh, Chanel puts synthetics in there, this and that, blah, blah, blah. They don't. And when they do, it's for a specific reason, not just to cut down costs. Actually, in many cases, synthetics today have become more expensive than natural ingredients, which says a lot about the world we live in. But that's another whole other can of worms still. But knowing that certain things need to be pre-ordered, that you go into the boutique and you can't just find it readily available because everything is produced in small quantities. And it's not that they're trying to artificially hype the availability of certain things like HERMES does with their Birkins and Kellys, because you can always get the timeless classics. Now, I know you mentioned in your video something about it becoming less available. I have not experienced that yet, meaning still to this day, and I was in my Chanel boutique just the other day. They had the 255s. They didn't have all the sizes, but they had the 255s. And they were getting in other sizes in a week or two. And they had the 1112 bag, which used to be called the Timeless Classic. They had them. They had the small, they had the medium, they had the jumbo, and they had the maxi. So that is still available. And it's always in production. So if you don't get it this season, they could always get it for you next season. You got to say you want one and they'll get it for you. It's not even like about this, oh, you're on a wait list for 2 years. It's a matter of a week or two. You wait and then you get it. In case they sold out of that size on the day that you went to the shop. But what is more rare at Chanel, really, and people kind of don't get it, is that the clothes, they're quite rare, but they don't sell them as much as they do their other products. So it's more special to get the clothes and more effort goes into making them. But the markup isn't as high. They earn less money, on their clothes than they do on their bags. On the bags, the markup is huge. But another reason to want to buy Chanel is definitely going in store and having that experience and knowing that it's not just going to be sent out online 30 different times, sent back then because it was in this warehouse, and then people are sending stuff back, as one does when one shops online, especially if something is really cheap and on sale. You order maybe, you don't know what size fits you, so you order 3 times the same piece in 3 sizes, and then you're going to send 2 back. So there's this whole thing that Chanel doesn't want to go through. Which for me is a good reason to shop there. But then you also said that you prefer the colorways of this season as opposed to last season, and the quality. Now, I kind of don't agree with the quality side. I mean, I have here with me an example of what I bought from the spring summer collection. And this is the foldable tote bag, which now I'm like my chain is all, hold on. Okay, here you go. My little, and no, here we don't go. Okay, there. Now we go. So the foldable bag with chain and flap. I was unlucky when I first got it because the first one I got did have, I gotta agree with you, that underneath here, under this flap is a magnet, which is attached to the bottom. So here we have a ring in leather, and this, I'm going to post a link to my video in the card section up above. You can see me unbox it, and then after that, the drama, because I found out that it was flawed. So I had to go back to Chanel. It's a whole story, process, exchanging, and blah, blah, blah. As you can see here, all's well that ends well, because I did get a new one. It was just, they didn't, the stitch of this leather on this nylon, it just didn't catch well. So, you know, it just fringed out from underneath. But now it's all good, and I've worn this bag. I've tested it out and about. I stuffed it with stuff. So it was, I thought, oh my God, no. And this is from the 31 series. And the 31 series, a lot of people have been complaining about the 31 series. But I gotta say, the second one that I got, all perfect. And I've tested it out. So it didn't pull, you know, and I put a lot of stuff in it, weighed it out a lot. It was hefty inside and heavy. So whatever was inside pulled on the nylon as well, so there was enough weight that could have triggered this from fraying. It didn't. And I love the fact that Chanel finally came out with a tote bag. I mean, how cute is this? It's a bit tacky, yeah, but it's conscious of the fact that it's tacky. It knows. It laughs with itself. Something very symbolic, typical of something that Coco Chanel would have made herself, because she had a lot of whimsy and a sense of humor. This is something actually very more Chanel than one would think it is. It's maybe not so Chanel of today, but it is definitely something Coco Chanel would have thought of making herself, because it helps you buy and move and shop through the town. It's a very clever piece. And then what I would also recommend if you're returning to Chanel before they hype up the price, they're still quite affordable now, they're clutches. The clutches are coming. There's a clutch renaissance coming. I got the 255 clutch just a couple of months ago. Delicious. And the biggest reason why to shop at Chanel now, which I don't think you mentioned in your video, is that now they've introduced for their bags a 5-year warranty. So Sophie, I don't know if you got your 5-year warranty on the square Tiffany blue color. But if your sales associate didn't tell you about it, I'm telling you now, go back to her or to him and tell them to send you the QR code. While you're in the store, you got to scan it, and then you activate your 5-year warranty for every bag you purchase, and wallet on chain, but no small other goods. So there's something also to consider. What I'm worried about is when somebody makes a video like this, okay, I'm back at Chanel shopping, and then you might then I think to myself, wait a minute, but just a month ago you were really kind of seemed angry about it. I'm thinking, okay, so you might get angry again pretty soon, which is also fine. We all go through these phases, but I don't know. I have the feeling that it's a little bit tricky to so quickly switch from, oh wow, I'm back with Chanel because of this and this reason. I guess I'm happy it happened, and I'm happy that it worked out well for you, but let me also read the comments in my chats, because I know my co-viewers also have opinions. Pay Am talks about the little refoldable bag. It's a rebellious bag, which is very Chanel. Tyler says, I'm so tempted to get that print in the large 19. The prints so far this year have been gagged. Glad to catch the catch you like. Tyler says, I love Chanel clothing, especially for how their style tags are set up. It's perfect for fashion collectors. Megan O'Connell, any sales associates out there that would love to end up on social media? Increase of clients? Influencer bribery, maybe? Yeah, says Debbie. I don't know. Megan says, with surveillance cameras, I can't imagine the store manager could have not known. Daniel says, maybe it was a ploy to get her business back. Sophie is a good client for Dior. Chanel may be hoping to lure her over for their clothes. Tyler said, I'd like to have one or two, but she had like 5+ hangers. Yeah, there was more than 5 in there for sure. I hope the sales associate didn't get into trouble for that, says Stephanie. Shop Queen says, OMG, does that sales associate still have a job, or did HRH get axed over hangers? Oh no, wait, I was just surprised at the amount of hangers she got. I mean, it's a wonderful gesture. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm super happy that the sales associate wanted to do this special thing for her. Like, it's super, super sweet. I just am not so sure that Sophie did the right thing showing it on camera, because it can put her sales associate in trouble. Potentially, okay? Because it's something that then, because look, then, you know how people are. Somebody's going to come into the boutique the next day and they're going to say, hey, you got some hangers for me too? And they're going to be like, no, we don't give out hangers. Really? Because Sophie made a video showing in her video that you gave her 10 hangers. You see what I mean? And then they're going to be like, who did that? Oh, that sales associate did that. And then they're going to go to the sales associate and be like, hey, don't do this. Now everybody's coming for the hangers. And we just had this debate with Purse on Fleek about people having issues, thinking that the brand had issues with her reselling ribbons, Hermes boxes and stuff like that. Like, this is one of the biggest reasons why the brands don't give out this stuff, because they're scared that people might then resell it. And that then, people who sells replicas or who sell whatever sort of, sketchy things might add the original hanger onto another piece that's not original. So it's like they're very, very stingy with their pieces, with all of these extra additional things which are meant to be made to deliver the garments and then throw them away, dispose of them secretly, so that nobody can kind of dig them out of the trash or whatever. But you see the potential here that somebody really uses this video, goes to Chanel and be like, hey, you gave her hangers, why can't I get some? I know that you give out hangers just like that. So, and that's how you get people in trouble. Do you understand what I'm saying? The cost of Chanel hangers on eBay is remarkable, and who knows if they are even authentic. Yeah, that's also true, Daniel. They do sell for a pretty penny. Lisbeth says exactly what I thought. I must admit, I would like a Chanel coat hanger, says Daniel. It is frustrating when you're buying luxury, but the experience is anything but luxury, says Stephanie. Daniel says, I'm guessing that they worked out she had stopped buying from them, so they did some buttering up to get her business. Love her to pieces, says Daniel. But then there's one more point there that I'm also a little bit skeptical about, because she does also talk about reselling. She did mention in the past, when she goes through her bags and says, Chanel is a good investment piece. I don't like talking about investment piece. You buy a bag because you love a bag. You don't buy a bag, keep it pristine for 5 years, and then you make turning over a profit. Like, I'm sure with the lifestyle she has and the life she has, she earns enough money doing other stuff. She doesn't need financially to flip a bag. Like, she doesn't. So that whole concept of, oh, I bought potentially going to resell, like, even that to me, don't talk about it, like, if you really want to do it, just do it, but don't throw it out there, because if the wrong people see it, it might have, it doesn't have to have repercussions, but it might. So I don't know. I would try to keep it on the low key as much as possible. Again, do you understand what I'm saying here? Because, like, I know some of you are going to come for me, but that's what you do. Candy of Love says, yeah, the fistlet. Starting slow. Exactly, Candy Fluff. Um, so yes, it's an unfair treatment, says Jack. Daniel says it would be so petty to fire a sales associate for gifting coat hangers. A sales associate should sue for unfair dismissal if it happened. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but people can get in trouble, and it's annoying when you get in trouble for you try to be helpful, but then it backfires. Guy Bay says she could just mention in the video the sales associate was super nice and treated her extra nice with some gifts. Yeah, that's fine, because we all know you could have, they have books that they give to some clients. Sometimes they give you a perfume. They have an extra stock of perfumes that they give to special clients. But even there, you got to spend a certain amount. So if they give it to you even without spending a certain amount, they have to kind of write a report why. Yeah, they do. They got to send that off to headquarters to say why they gifted a certain piece, for what reason. By piece, I mean freebies that they get anyway. To give out to special clients, perfumes, sometimes there's brooches, sometimes there's small leather goods. Like, there are some pieces that are meant to be gifted to clients. Those hangers aren't one of them. So, yes, that would have been more gracious if, says Stephanie, if she just said they treated her to some gifts. I agree with you. It would have been less risky, less dangerous. Let's just put it that way. Oh yes, Sophie does buy bags to resell them, says Daniel. She's open about that. Right. So, that's like, really, okay, fine. I mean, this is again a moral debate. Like, is that okay or is it not okay? Of course, one faction is going to say, yeah, I buy it, my money, I do with it what I want later, none of your business. Fair enough. Then you have the standpoint of the brand working so hard trying to fight the resellers, and there you have a big luxury personality on YouTube saying, oh, it's great, buy it to resell it, everybody do it. Okay, but then you're on your own. Then you're kind of on your own. Then you can't expect the brand to be on your side all the time if you're kind of working against them. You are giving them your money, for sure, but it's not in their intentions to promote reselling. So they're happy that you bought a bag from them, but they're not so happy that it's going to be resold. So, and they don't get many of these bags in these special colorways, so they're going to think twice the next time. Should we give it to somebody who openly says that they resell it? We got only 3 copies of the same bag, right? We got the special bag only 3 times, right? In this special rainbow blue, whatever. So, like, we know that this person resells because they say it openly. But then we got 10 people wanting this bag. We only received the bag 3 times. They're gonna pick the 3 people that they know are gonna treasure this bag and not resell it. Long term, that's how it works. There's no beating around the bush about this, you guys. I mean, unless you don't have somebody inside of Chanel, like all of a sudden your best friend started working for Chanel, then they're going to work for you. They're not, that's a different story. Maybe Sophie now has somebody she knows who works there. Here, girl, take the hangers. It's from me. Everything is possible. So it all depends. But like, if you don't have somebody from the inside that's on your side, your friend, your personal friend, and does these favors for you, then it's a bit tricky, because the sales associates, when they do get, we've heard these stories when they have to like play the lottery. The 3 bags are there, then they play the lottery, and then which sales associate wins the bag, and then that sales associate then decides which one of their clients to sell the bag to. So let's say if you don't win the lottery, let's say, if they're battling out, if these sales associates are battling out amongst each other, who gets to sell the bag? Because they also get commission on that. So it's not just like that they're these angels working for you. They also want their commission. So that if you're fighting with if your sales associate is fighting with Sophie's sales associate, your sales associate might say, yeah, why should you take the bag? It's going to be resold anyway. I'd rather give it to my client who I know is going to keep the bag. So there's a lot of these conversations happening behind the scenes that we don't even know about. But you got to kind of keep in consideration also, because, then don't be surprised if one day they tell you, oh, sorry, we don't have the bag for you. Don't be surprised. Don't make an angry video about it. don't make an angry video that sales associates aren't answering, that it's so hard to reach, because she did say it. I connected the dots. She said it in her video about, a couple of months ago, some time ago. Harrods is so hard to reach. I'm not bothered with Harrods anymore. And why don't they answer your requests? Now they do again. I guess also the lockdown helped, because during the lockdown, less sales happening, less traffic than they're used to. So, they got to also restructure their way of thinking and how they sell, because they got to get stuff going and rolling again. It's not like Chanel was doing great. They do great with bag sales and with some costume jewelry. The dreaded double C earrings with the studs, where the studs always fall, the crystals always fall off. But it's not like their apparel, it's like people are pulling it off the shelves. Like, you got to move that merch, and it's not that easy. So of course they got to change their attitude. I feel like a part of the reason why Sophie was so pleasantly surprised that they're much nicer now is also because they're like, okay, damn, we gotta we got to step up our game, because we lost a lot of money during the lockdown and stuff like that. So that influences their attitude as well. But I heard her say that she had issues. They weren't contacting her back from Harrods. Ask yourself why. It doesn't surprise me how open some of these luxury vloggers are about reselling on the internet. Don't they know that anything you put out on social media is forever? Stephanie says, oh, it does. Sorry, Stephanie, I misread. You said it does surprise me how open some of these luxury vloggers are about reselling on the internet. Don't they know that anything you put on the social media is forever? I think people don't think long-term much, and also don't think too much about others, because I repeat, it's also the sales associate that can get in trouble for this, not just her. It's not that she just, the next time she goes to Chanel, might not get what she wants because she openly said that she's a reseller or whatever. That's on her. That's on her. And if she wants to do it that way, of course she can. Of course she can. Just deal with it once they tell you, no, we can't give you the special bag because we know that you resell them. But this is a different level still. This is like, here's a gift, which is not supposed to be a gift because they're hangers that they're not allowed to give out like that. And somebody just gave it to me. Yay, thank you, the sales associate. That could get another person in trouble, not just your purchasing. Because I assume my responsibility for myself. If I choose to buy this bag from Chanel, this one isn't rare, doesn't matter. I love it. I bought it anyway because I love it. I don't care if something is rare or not. This is just one of my holy grails, 255 clutch. So I buy this, this one is rare. This one's really hard to get. Let's go with a rare one. Okay. So I decide to buy this bag, and my sales associate really went through a lot to get me this bag. It took also 2 months hunting it down, and then when the one that I got was production flawed, it took a long time to get the second one. And then could you imagine, I could then decide to make a video about it. I'm selling it, it's a super rare bag, bam, double the price. And then, fine, it's my choice. My sales associate sees the video. Next season, when there's another bag I really want that's special and hard to get, my sales associate is going to tell me, sorry, I can't, it's unavailable. And my sales associate isn't even going to tell me like the truth. It's not going to tell me, hey, I saw you sold it. No, they're going to play it safe for them. They're going to be like, oh, so sorry, we tried to get the bag for you, but it's not available anywhere. So if you're ready for that repercussion, then fine. By all means, you are a free person in a free world. You make a video and you say you're a reseller, and that's okay. Okay? Because it's just the repercussions that you stating that you are reselling will only have repercussions on you and on your future shopping experience with that brand that you are openly stating that you are reselling. But showing a little special something you got under the table at the boutique might get other people in trouble, not just you. And this is where I'm like, guys, think a little bit. You know what I mean? Think a little bit before you do these things. Selena says, I love watching Sophie, but I think she works in marketing, so I don't really trust this new Chanel video. Something was off about it. Something was a little bit off about it. And also like those hangers that were shown there with the double C's, and then, but now not the clip ones for the pants, but the actual regular ones. Like she was talking about Chanel and showing close-ups of clothes of white kind of silky shirts and stuff. But then later she revealed that those were not Chanel clothes. But whenever she would like frame the video, would film the clothes hanging on the hanger, she would kind of always frame the picture, the video, so that the double C would show very clearly from the hanger. So it always, and this is another thing Chanel could be like, you're making it look like it's our clothes on that hanger. They're not. She did say later on that they're not, but it's these little things, you know, constantly these little tricks. It doesn't, you know, it adds up. It adds up. All these little details adds up. You know, you connect the dots and then you're just like, it's a bit sketchy. Candy says, those hangers are meant to go in the trash and be destroyed, not kept and given away. Exactly. Daniel says, I understand that they have to monitor gifts for clients and keep records, but it does seem excessive to demand a report for a gift to a client. And that's what they do, Daniel. That's what they do. They also have to write a report. And I told you this in one of my videos, like for clients that they know, you know, you're only allowed to buy one bag every couple of months or two small leather goods. It's a bit complicated, their whole calculation, but they do make exceptions if they trust you. So their system triggers the alarm and it says, this client already bought a bag a week ago. You can't sell it to them. They can bypass that, but they have to write a whole report on you and why they allowed you to get that extra bag. Same applies to, because Daniel, they have these listen, you have to buy over a certain amount of money in one go to trigger them the activation of one of their exclusive brooches for free or something. So if a store manager decides to gift you that brooch anyway, even though you didn't spend over 15,000 in one go, they have to write a report why they're giving you that brooch, even though you didn't spend the minimum necessary for that brooch. Like that, you want to work for them? Well, those are the rules of the game. You got to work like that. So those people know. There's Jack says, there's no actual need to destroy the hangers though. They can just reuse them. Well, Jack, they get new ones with every new shipment. When the new collection arrives, the clothes don't arrive folded, they arrive hanging. Some clothes arrive hanging. Some pieces that are more delicate, they arrive folded with tissue paper, but they also have, and with some garments, they arrive on racks already hanging on the standard transportation Chanel hangers, which are the ones that then the staff takes off of the racks that arrive and puts them into their stock room. So they get these extra hangers. So what are you going to do with the hangers you got last season and the season before that and the season? So they have a lot of these, and yes, I'm sure they get to take some home for themselves and, you know, all that stuff, but they always have a surplus of these so-called shipment hangers that they have to dispose of secretly, you know, without anybody being able to access the garbage and kind of pluck the hangers out of the garbage, because it's deemed a bad image for the brand. Mohart says she doesn't sell often, but it is sure to bring up reselling because she knows her subscribers want to know. Yeah, that's a good point. For sure. She's playing on that, in that field of her subscribers and her followers. So she's doing what she thinks is good for her channel and for her to do and for the growth of her channel. For sure. I agree on that. Like, she's a very clever lady. She knows that it helps her channel grow. She knew what she was doing with her I'm done with Chanel style video. I feel like she wanted to test her online presence with that video. That video comes out, then suddenly the gifts. Possibly. I don't know how far she calculated it. I don't know. Everything is possible though. Megan O'Connell, Dacob, does the purchase limit apply to boutiques and department stores? Chanel is more, especially you're talking about the States in this case. You know that department stores had Chanel boutiques within them, and with some department stores, you had this bonus feature, like whatever you wherever you purchase in the department store, you can collect points and then you could use those to redeem vouchers for Chanel. That's going to stop. In the States, it's already ending. And pretty soon the little corner boutiques within bigger department stores are all going to become normed with regular standalone Chanel boutiques where you have these same limits. Yeah. So that's in the process of changing if it hasn't already changed completely during the lockdown. Mo says she made a point to say she was treated amazing, skipped the long line and didn't buy, yet walks out with bags of hangers. She was never going to stop buying Chanel. That says Mohart. Daniel says, I just think it is wicked to throw hangers away. It is plastic. If they don't want to reuse them, they should not manufacture them. Just use non-branded hangers. Not okay to waste. Good morning, Daniel. Fashion World to Daniel. Fashion World to Daniel. Every brand does it. Every brand is so wasteful. The fashion industry, you guys, is the most wasteful of industries in the world. The amount of trash and garbage that the fashion industry produces is hangers, just tip of the iceberg. Let's not talk about all the clothes that they destroy that doesn't get sold on time, that they have to destroy and not give away because it ruins the image of the brand. They have to destroy what doesn't get sold. Crashed, crushed, burned to a crisp. Where do you think we're living, guys? That's how the fashion industry works. A humongous part of how these brands manage to maintain their allure is because they are so destructive. It's because they do not give an F and F about sustainability, about the environment. Sure, we have this thing, Google it if you don't know, greenwashing. You wanna, now it's very popular to talk about sustainability. Fashion will never be sustainable. Only style can be sustainable. Two different things. Fashion has to produce to survive. It has to keep making. And if they don't make you keep purchasing, they got to destroy the surplus. They can't give it away for free. Otherwise, they diminish the look of their brand. Potahona Potahe, hello, sweetie. A bragger who is not really feeling the history, the many hands laboring unique pieces, it's her loss. We will still hold brand and high standards. Mo says the way she talked about her treatment by the boutique after that complaint video, what next? Washing her feet with Chanel, number 5. I mean, I don't know you guys, but it's like, it is wasteful when brands produce stuff like this and then throw it away, but that's how it works. That's how it works. In many bigger cities where brands don't have an issue of diminishing the allure of their brand, you're going to see this in many major cities. They literally at night after they've received the new inventory and they have extra hangers left over. At night after they close the store that day, they're going to leave a box outside of the store full with hangers and they're going to write like for free. Happens in New York a lot, for example, but everywhere really. And then you could just take them home with you. But of course, luxury brands are not allowed to do that. I worked in retail for a short period, says Jack. When I was 16, they forced us to throw every single hanger in a giant bin that was taken away to be destroyed once a month. Yeah, there you go. Vin84 says, Dacob, why do you never do shopping vlogs like Sophie? That's a good point, Vin84. In luxury stores, I don't do it because I have the utmost highest respect of these places. They do not like to be filmed. Most of these vloggers film secretly. I don't do that. I ask permission. If I'm gonna do something, I want everybody on their side of the team to be in on it, to understand what's gonna happen. I want official permission. I want it to be all transparent. I don't do that, hey, I'm gonna sneak you into Chanel today, let's see what's happening, what's popping. I don't feel comfortable doing it, so that's why I don't do it. Now, if somebody invites me to do it, then I'll do it. Like, for example, many years ago, I did a vlog in Los Angeles, Moschino. They said, sure, film anything you would like. They just opened the boutique, and I asked permission. They said yes, and I filmed everything. It was a beautiful experience for me. They were happy to have me because they were allowed to have me, because their company policy back then was let as many people film as possible. But if a brand, listen, I could show you stuff, okay? I have so many photos that my sales associate sends me, also from their back stock of showing me this and that, because I never share those images, because sometimes I need to know what do they have in order for me to decide if I want to buy it, if the size is right, what have you, for clothing mostly, or shoes. And I never share those pictures from any brand I get. I just don't. Also because I respect my sales associate, but also the same applies to all of these details, it's, yeah, you just don't do it. And so when it comes to vlogging, unless I want to expose for some reason something, because I think somebody's doing something amoral or not right or illegal, and then I want to expose it, then that's a different story. Then secretly filming something is a different story. But otherwise, I film where I am allowed to film. And a lot of these brands, I had the issue just a couple of weeks ago when I was debating purchasing, no, it was not for this one. It was for my other clutch with the double C logo. And they had caviar and a lambskin. And I said, I gotta think about a couple of days. Do I want caviar or lambskin? I gotta think about it. Let me take a photo of each. So I look at them when I'm at home with the price tag next to them, so I remember the prices. And we were in the main room where other colleagues of my sales associate, and she literally told me, Dacob, don't take the photo. They don't like it. I'll take the photo for you. Because she knows that I will never send it off to anybody else, and I'm not going to show a photo to anybody. And she says, I'll make it for you because I trust you that you're not going to share the photo. So she took the photo with her work phone for me and said, okay, here are the pictures. You can take your time to think about which one you want. They don't like when you're photo here, video there. They just don't like that. And you respect it. It's as easy as that. You don't have to play the game, but then don't go there at the end of the day. So it's their home. It's not your home. It's their home. You're in their home. You're not going to invite somebody into your living room and then they start pooping all over the place, or filming you, or, no, it's respect the codes of that home. If they have a certain, I have very, very dear Japanese friends. I know when I come to their home, first thing you do, you take off your shoes. You do not walk into that house with your shoes on, okay? I have other friends from Europe, just walk into do whatever you want with your shoes on. So you adapt. So if Chanel in particular doesn't want you to take photos in a video, you don't do it. You just don't do it. It's as easy as that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, never forget to never give up on love. Love you all. See you soon. Take care. Bye.